This is the after chapter discussion for chapter 210.29M. I'll be hosting Mr. Wiggles along with Etheron,
Hello.
otherwise known as Mafia Hamster. Let's just get started with some general impressions everyone has. How'd you guys like the chapter? Mafia Hamster? Etheron? Let's hear
Yeah.
from you first.
So my first thought after finishing this chapter was, my God, I really love TWI. I don't know why it came to me at this, especially at this point. It was just finishing another chapter, and it was a banger again. 9 out of 10. I loved it. I loved so much about it. The start where you think that the two Mercers are gonna meet, just to have singly focusing on future Mercer and how she reacts to the inn. It was just awesome. She almost flirting with Ishkar made me laugh so hard. And the tidbits from the other world, like Nanette turning into an evil witch and killing over 100 people, both of them probably almost killing each other, is like insane. And my goodness, the fight. The fight was amazing. To see Grimalkin, one of the strongest people on fucking Israel, getting uh, uh, having a worthy opponent, Mercer going toe to toe with him, it was just amazing. And I can't wait. The ending. My goodness, the ending from the chapter. I can't wait for the next one. But yeah, my highlight is it's a bit obvious, but my highlight really was the fight. I loved every second of it.
Yeah, I'd absolutely agree with you that the highlight for me was the fight. I think this was probably one of the best written fights Pirate Eva has ever done. It was just very engaging, and
Mm-hmm.
I love seeing it. And I find it funny how you just like the funny uh the chapter ended. Oh my gosh, how it ended, and it's literally Dalamont just fainting in the
Yeah.
raspberry. Yeah, yeah. What a chapter ending! Holy crap! Oh, can't wait for the next one.
Yeah.
But yeah, I absolutely love this chapter. 10 out of 10 chapter for me easily. Um, yeah, it's fantastic. I can't wait to see what's going to happen next chapter. Whether we go to the Ragses or we stick with Adult Mercia or we go to Brunker. I don't
If
know what we're
we
doing, but it's
the
all
Bronca the
crazy.
Bronca team isn't the Bronca team back?
No,
They
no,
uh
Brunker team isn't back.
oh, I thought they were with Lionette in the common room right now.
No, that's Roots
Ah,
Mercia.
that's the seed team. Yeah, that went to
Yeah.
get the seed. I forgot. Yeah, so much happening at the same time right now.
It's complicated. It's complicated. There's a lot of there's a lot of different people
Uh-huh.
doing a lot of different things. So yeah,
And yeah,
it's it's
one
crazy.
that's why probably that's gonna be more than one chapter to finish all of that if we know
Mhm,
Pirate.
mhm. All right, let's move to some of the people who had thoughts and chats. Kanya says it was a very fun chapter. I enjoyed following future Mercia. I did think that she has been very influenced by Ryoka. She acted a lot like her, except a bit more social, smart, and makes plans, but then gets reckless and fucks up everything. Very fun to follow.
Mm-hmm.
And Kumshot says Ushar was back. Don't know about the rest. Ushar? Hold on. Ushar was back?
What?
Oh, I guess she was.
I'm confused
Oh,
right now.
I don't think it was supposed to be Ushar though. Because Ushar's with them in the bunker.
I'm confused right now. What's going on?
Ushar was in the chapter, but she's also with the bunker people. So I think that might be a typo. I'm not sure. We'll see.
We'll see.
Rattling Willow says, I just wanted to point out that the Grimalkin tinfoil theory was finally correct, even though he didn't expect to be right. That's hilarious. But yes, that's absolutely hilarious.
From when are you?
Yeah. You did it!
You
Woo!
did it.
Alright, let's go to Red Ink Quill. You want to speak? Go ahead.
I've been thinking about it. I was going to give it a 9 out of 10, but I thought about it. If this isn't a 10 out of 10, then what is? You know, excellent fight, excellent characterization, excellent reveals, excellent like everything. It's just an excellent chapter. And I wanted nothing more from this chapter except for the next one. You know, but you know, if Grimokin is he's a broken clock most of the time when it comes to his theories, but you know, every now and then he's correct just by dint of the craziness that happens in End World. Uh, and then Mersha throwing hands with him and then like beating the crap out of him, and then like when he hears that Pride is like, oh, he's throwing the fight. This isn't real. Then he like just takes it and she like gets tired beating him up, you know. And it just turns out he doesn't even have callous muscles. He's just been like fighting with pure strength this entire time. It's kind of crazy. The fact that Mersha was like anticipating him all the time, and
Mm-hmm.
then like everything that he was gonna do, she had a counter to. Like he was looking through 12 different ways of sight and still couldn't see her. And then he was sending out pings, and all of them returned that they were correct, that she was there. You know, it's just amazing. Um, and then the fact that it's Grimmelking's physique is the spell name, like that's so cool. Even though he's like not all about it, he's like, "Oh, I must be dead because there's no way I would have named it that."
Mm-hmm.
uh, and then I thought that out of all the big things, worldwide changing things that can come out of this, is that the Blighted King is full of shit and he's lying all the time. Uh, like that could change world events. And if there's any vector for disseminating that information, it's Drosy and it's all the spies in the inn. You know, that would get it out there. So I just thought it was a crazy chapter. I loved the Mercer from the future coming and telling everyone what happened in her world, telling Valterisa that she's not going to be able to get the gin, that they're going to kill the clockmaker, and she's like goes from asking for magic to like crying with Relk in the corner, and then Grimacud finding out that he's like forever alone in the future. He's like, not in this life. And then he immediately leaves to go to Pride.
Mm-hmm.
Just really funny.
You
Uh,
had an highlight?
yeah, I liked when Grimmelkin found out that he's going to be alone, and he's like immediately leaves. And even though this is like there's a lot of like transcendent information that's coming out, he immediately leaves to go be with Pride. That was amazing. Yeah.
I agree. I agree. Oh, I forgot that Ralph was the one who figured first out that it was Mersha and calling her kiddo.
Oh yeah, that was crazy.
Oh, calling her
She
kiddo.
she knew as soon as she used Ralph kick.
Oh God, she uses the goddamn Ralph kick. Maybe it really was a 10 out of 10 chapter.
Gotta keep them on their toes. Okay. Up.
Alright.
Grandma Kim thought he was bluffing. There's no bluff like the Ralph kick. Bluff.
I mean it. Someday, Pirate has to make the world kick over and punch a real skill. They just have to do it at some point. Even if it's just a decoy skill, you call it out and an illusion punch flying for something.
Oh, it's
It
a
Yeah,
has,
skill
Mafia.
that works like 1 out of 3 times.
Yeah,
And you,
Mafia and
you
the
can
pirate are gonna monkey power you and just kill Relk and give you all the skills.
oh man.
So be careful what you wish for.
All
All
right, thank
right.
you, Red and
Thank
Quill.
you.
Let's move on to Mr. Europe. Give us your
Hello.
general
Yes,
impression.
This chapter was fantastic. Uh, I don't really have the words except to say that through the vast majority of this chapter, I was either giggling at what was happening or uh, very strongly nervously giggling uh, at what was happening. And that's when you know that it's a great chapter. Uh,
I know what you mean.
yeah. Uh, there was just the whole slow chaos of adult Mersha trying to just deal with her feelings and like staying under the radar, and just slowly it just completely collapses until she's straight up having a fist fight in the rain outside, because that's how bad she is at keeping it a secret. uh, it was, yeah, I really enjoyed it. There were a lot of like, as per usual with the Wandering Inn, I feel I always think that, oh, this is going to be really cool when it, like, this is going to lead into that next chapter, and then it always becomes something much better. Like, I was thinking, oh, Lionette just came back to the inn, and she comes back, and of course, the only people who are there are going to be all the spies who now follow the great Lady Mersha, spy master of Israel. And I thought that was going to be hilarious. And instead, she comes back, and there's Teen Mersha, and everything's gone completely chaotic in a much more dramatic way.
Yeah. What do
Yeah.
you thought about the part when Ralk was describing how he feels about the inn? Can you recall the part where you mean that solstice moments can hurt and the inn hurts you but not physically sometimes? What are your thought about that part?
Um, I feel like that's not like we've touched on some of that stuff before. It was emotional, but what really hit me was when Valatrice finally got her in moment, and just how
Oh yeah.
Ralph was just like, "Oh, there. I told you it would happen eventually."
Getting your in moment. If you don't start crying at some point. Yeah.
But yeah, my favorite part was definitely the fight because it was a really well written and like dynamic fight, and
Mhm.
I thought it was really good. You know, it's always nice when you have a running commentary to the fight as well. But yeah, um, I thought it was like very good chapter for what's like, it's a dramatic chapter definitely with lots of things, but very character driven still.
Mhm.
And yeah, just uh very, I loved it.
Thank you.
Yeah, everyone loves it. Woo! Yippee! Yash, you're up next. You wanted to give your general impression. Go ahead.
Yeah, I think this is one of the funniest chapters that we've had in a long time. just Taliban fainting. Oh my god, I laughed for a good 15 minutes. Like I would stop and then I would read it again and start laughing again. It was a vicious cycle. Oh my god. It took me a while to get out of it. Taliban just fainting and Rizveri be like, no. Oh my god. It was so funny. And then Sticks, the interview with Sticks. Lord Almighty, it was just so funny. Oh God. And then all the sex tapes and the secret recordings of the pervert mages and, all those little drops from the future that we get. Oh God, that was so funny.
Yeah.
It was just so funny. So overall, it was a great chapter, like super funny and super engaging. Of course the fight was great, but I'm more of a drama person, so I love the drama of it as well, where it's like we know what the answer is, and the mounting sort of expectation, and the mounting I I forget English sometimes, but you're really excited that okay, Mersha is going to find out now, and she keeps getting distracted, and you're like, like the answers are right there, you just need to get it. And it was written amazingly, where
You had a favorite part?
the Sticks interview and Dalimont fainting was my favorite part.
Talmud Fading was awesome.
Yeah. Oh my god. But I kept hoping, like, throughout the fight, where whenever Grimalkin was using diffuse dispel magic, yeah, I because Marsha uses a kind of magic repellent, so that her paint doesn't wash off, right? So the rain doesn't hit her fur directly, like she's not like completely wet. So when he uses dispel magic, I was hoping that at some point the paint is gonna wash off and she's gonna be revealed to be like a doom bearer. But that never happened. Well, it's okay. Like it's okay. Uh, but still, like overall, 10. If I had to cut like 0.5 marks, it would be for this, that we didn't get to see like a Mersha being a white knoll reveal. Other than that, the chapter was absolutely perfect. I just don't know how we'll get to the ending of everything if we keep getting distracted with all these awesome characters. Oh, and Furker, the trials of Furker, and Furker seeing Furker, Furker, her seeing Marsha from the meeting of tribes, and all of them seeing adult Marsha fight Grimalkin, and
Mhm.
actually hold up to him being the mage. Oh my god! Like
That was a big W for the Null community to see that.
big win. So lovely chapter.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you,
Uh,
Yash.
Samu.
Yeah, also, I think it was a great chapter. I laughed out loud. I'm not sure what my flatmates are thinking when I read the Wandering in the Sunday morning. But yeah, it was funny. It was a great fight scene. I think so that it was one of the best, especially recently as well. And everything else like comes together, but like although like I did not have fun after the chapter, because during the chapter it was all fine, but this all like there was perfect the thing with the Raxus going into the door. Like I'm that's when I hate reading The Wandering In, because I can't really like I thought a few hours about that, like, because we don't just risk one Rex now that we have multiple, but we risk both and Red Scar, and two newer characters that I don't love quite as much yet. But it's like it's so terrible, because if this door is somehow closed, or they might get killed and nobody knows they are there. I think, at least I need to check that again. But like my anxiety for those 5, especially with Mursha saying her future is the worst for goblins, is like to the roof, and I'm like, I did not have fun since reading the chapter. While reading the chapter, I had a lot of fun. It was perfect, but sometimes there's too much tension, and I really love chapters where that goes all the way, and that was not one of them. But yeah, it was writing wise, it was perfect.
It can be hard waiting for all the chapters coming out. That's sometimes why it's best to just a little whole arc to come out at once, and then you can just devour it all and know what's gonna happen. But
Sometimes with web novels, I'm waiting 1 or 2 days or waiting a few chapters so that I have a chunk to read, but I never. It was never L with me for TWI.
yeah,
I could wait like 3 days, and then I thought, nope, I can't wait anymore, and I had to read the new chapter, the latest chapter. It's not possible for that series, for me at least.
yeah, it's hard. All right, thank you, Samuel. Jotham, you wanted to give your general impressions next?
I think people talked about everything. I just want to talk about the grenades, like the bombs they brought into this chapter though. Like the biggest one was the Blighted Kingdom lie and how to counter them with spells. And like I think I love that thing like that now it got introduced. I just want to see how they're gonna handle it. Like I just want to I just want that plot point to get explored because it's a lot of setup with Blighted Kingdom and
Mm-hmm.
how they can get their truth across, and I just want to see what they can do with it. And I loved when the Archmage just got her welcome to the solstice event moment. One time she was just being annoying, asking everybody questions, and Mirsha was like, hold it there. Let me give you the dose of reality. Tell me how you're gonna handle it." Then she just curling around and just crying. I was like, "Well, welcome to the Wandering Inn."
Yep.
I was like,
Now she is a part of the family. She had an in moment.
now he and she well can trauma bond regarding a social moment now. That is just brutal though. Like both chapters, all the Mershas are just killing it. Like they're showing it how they can manipulate people. They're literally how they learn everything. Like they're honestly, when you look at the mirror of all their teachers, I'm just proud of and I was just laughing at the end. I was like, Dalmat has my full sympathy. Like the throne bearer, he just passed out. And she was like, I cannot take it anymore. This is too long of a day. Like one moment to another. I'm just out.
A goddamn throne bearer who has seen like everything, political intrigue, death, guarding a princess. But yeah, even for a throne bearer, I think that was too much.
Fucking Grimlock, finally got his time travel theory right, eh? He used to go time travel every fucking volume. And he got it right this time, though. Well, good for him, buddy. Good for him. All right, guys, that's all.
Thanks.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. And Bleed Soul, you're up next.
So
Yeah, hi. Yeah, I also really like this chapter, except for one thing. I really, really dislike Villa Teresa. I
what?
really dislike her. I dislike her with a passion. She's
And there's Bleach Soul.
she's really non-character. I mean, when every time she shows a tiny bit of development, she goes on this oh, magic crap. Yeah, but whatever. Yeah, but I really I liked how Marsha is trying to to get the information. I mean, she was gonna be exposed sooner or later because of the type of information she needs for her to go back and fix Aaron and heal Aaron. So yeah, I thought it was like very good chapter, except for Velaterisa.
I can't believe we get this Veiled Teresa hate right now. Oh
Yeah.
man. Oh man.
And
I mean,
for,
Rad deserves so much better.
Oh.
but
Oh.
why? You mean magic crap because she was so
Look,
focused?
I'll tell you something. If Velaterisa had the opportunity to kidnap Marsha, put her in a basement and experiment on her, she would do it.
No, she wouldn't.
I have full faith that she would do it.
No, she wouldn't anymore.
Anymore, yeah, her ethics and morals. She already took some fur from
There
her.
we go. Yo, I agree with you. She will actually do it.
She
I
wouldn't
mean,
anymore.
she doesn't have that ethics or moral compass. She only interested in research magic, and she doesn't care. Well, maybe she
Uh,
cares a bit now, but I mean, it's still very limited about what. I mean, she would dissect Marsha.
No, she
To,
would. Ever since the beach episodes and where she finally understands that there's more than magic in this world. I mean,
yeah,
sh-
yeah.
I
But and she's now building a magic school and whatever. But still, I mean, she's morally compromised. I wouldn't trust her with anything.
oh my god!
But
Wow.
but I mean, like, what? Do you blame me? I mean, she tried to take some muscles from Grimalkin and she took fur from Marsha for experiment.
Yeah, Bleach
Yeah, she's
is. Yeah,
I mean,
Bleach
like,
is angry. He did not get a chance to do it before her. No, I agree
she
with
is.
you, Bleach. 100% agree with you.
no, but I mean, like, yeah, I mean, that part was a low point for me. But anyway, I like that Marsha, got to adult Marsha got to experience, the other stuff also with regards to Grimalkin and his strengthening body. I think Teriarch had an influence on that. Maybe he taught him how to strengthen his body with spells or something. So yeah, because he was unmovable when Marsha tried to punch him with like tier 2 and tier 3 spells. So maybe Teriarch had upgraded everybody there by
I,
giving them some tips about
I
spells.
maybe, but I think that's just Gramalkin's stubbornness.
Yeah, well, it could be that.
Also, Mishka really didn't want to kill Grey Malkin. Like, she was trying to go at as non-lethal as possible. But you gotta understand that too. Like, if she's going for the kill,
Yeah,
No, I don't believe.
none of
I
them
don't
wanted
believe
to
so.
kill
It
each
was
other.
training match.
That was just a sparring match. None of them wanted to go all out. I think.
Yes.
yeah, you gotta remember that. Like, it was not fight to that.
But I gotta say, Marsha was really impressive with her, with her spells and her
Mhm.
speed of throwing spells and stuff. So I was hoping, like, damn. I mean, I wanted Marsha, the normal, the one from the inn, like to watch this fight and get inspired to train and get maybe more magical abilities in this. But alas, that's it from me. Thank you.
Mhm.
All right. Thank you very much. I'm gonna read out the last few comments. Edron, if you want to figure out the first question.
All right.
Um, let's see. Rattling Willow said, I just want to point out that a Grimal Tinfo. Oh, wait, I already read that one. Sidehammer said, had a good time. Had to read this one analog, like with my actual eyeballs, because my TTS was unavailable, sadly. So it took me a bit longer than usual, but I really enjoyed it. Not sure I like older Mersha as much as OG Mersha, so I was glad Grimalkin won the fight. Would have been upset if she could win, would have smacked the very soonest, so I'm glad that didn't happen. I liked the interactions with Mersha and the inhabitants even more than the fight. The valley moment was my favorite part. Hyped for the next chapter. You see, Bleach Soul Valley was great. It was great. She was great. Everyone knows it. Valley's great. Mr. Europe says, doesn't this go against about 20 different things from her introduction to now? Like, she wouldn't have done that at the start, let alone now. And that was in reply to Bleach Soul's comments they were making while they were talking. So, Mr. Europe, I think I agree with you. I definitely agree with you. Definitely. Kamchat says, even when Ryoka had just woke her up, she didn't try to kidnap her to study this new magic. And she just commented now wouldn't be an appropriate time to ask for a muscle sample.
Oh
Yeah.
my god, Bleach Soul is getting some heat.
Side Hammer says justice for Valley. Alright, let's get off Bleach Soul's back. Let's all agree that Valley is amazing. And let's move on to our first question of the day.
All
Outside
right.
of general impressions. What is the most important thing that future Mersha can teach the present characters? How much influence will her knowledge have on the characters? And so, I think I'll just start us off, Edron, and then you can give your thoughts. But already, she's given out knowledge of a healing spell, something that has not been present in TW, like a low level healing spell. Something that hasn't been present in TWI like ever. We've never seen low level healing spells, and that's huge. That's something that'll literally, if Grimalkin spreads it far and wide, and I think he will. That's something that's going to have an influence, a huge influence, very quickly, especially because of the shortage of healing potions. Like that right there is already enough influence that she's just done a huge amount. And I think that probably is the most important thing I can think of right now that she can teach them. But also, she just has a ton of knowledge about like the Mother of Graves, like even local problems. She knows what's going to happen, even if it's not like exactly how it will happen. And in the real world, it's like she knows what could happen, and she knows secrets of the dungeon that will make it so that when they go and deal with it, it's going to be a lot easier. And I think that's super valuable. And I don't know how much Pineapple is going to give away, though. That it could be like future Mersha gets called away super fast, but I don't know. I don't think so. And she's already had plenty of time to give away a lot of information. So, what do you think, Aaron?
I agree that the healing spell was very, very important, but close second for me, to be honest, is what she did for the gnolls. I mean, I think in their brain they knew that people can get mages. Some little ones got mages, but now they saw a gnoll fighting on the level of an archmage. For the first time in like living memory for the gnolls, they saw a gnoll fighting like a mage using spells, and I think that moral boost is like invaluable. It's insane what this has done for the gnoll population. I think.
You
Uh,
know, I didn't actually think about that, but you're absolutely right, Edron. That's huge for the current
mhm.
null like everyone in in null society trying to uh
Yeah,
get into magic. That's really huge.
you see often it's often a trope in stories where you have I saw as a little kid this person doing that, and it inspired me to build my whole uh, whole world around it, my whole future around it, and just these little kids with their wands and trying to be like Mercer, my goodness, huge for the future of Knowles. But what I'm a bit confused about, or maybe a bit concerned, that future Mercer has information from her world. I mean, her world is quite different than the in-world that we have right now. And these informations, I'm not even sure how correct they maybe are, because the other world evolved different than our world. And if you, I mean, it's the goddamn butterfly effect, you know? Who says that the people in our world are as fucked up to Villa Teresa as in Mercer's world when we have other conditions? And to be worried about Nanette, I mean, Nanette just turned out that way because she like never got to the inn, never got a mom in Lionette, and like got on a very different path than she is right now. And I don't know if you even have to worry about our Nanette right now. It's what she's capable of, yeah, but to be honest, everybody is capable of like evil and fucked up shit. So I'm not
Well,
sure how serious this warning is, to be honest.
well, for Nanette, I think it is a good warning for Nanette because Nanette, she put aside her hat for now, but that hat is still there. It still has all of her emotions from that time, and if she puts it back on, like that could be a lot to deal with all at once. And so knowing that if things go wrong, that Nanette could like turn out very differently if things go wrong. Like just knowing that when Nanette puts the hat back on,
But
that's valuable to know that it could go so wrong.
I don't know, but you could say that about every cook. Cook how the other Syria was in the world, completely devoured by her mindfuckery uh, artifact. And I mean, this Nanette has a mother in Lionette,
Yeah,
and has the support of the inn, and has a net when shit hits the fan. She wouldn't. I, I don't even know if it's possible for her to turn out this evil and corrupt when, like, even at the start, Lynette would do everything to bring Nanette back because she sees her as a daughter, like Mercer. And Lynette has many mistakes, but she cares about her kids.
that's true. That's definitely
And that's why, and again, the same with Villa Teresa and the other stuff. I am when it comes to these future warnings, I'm taking them with a grain of salt, to be honest, because it's a different, way different world than what we are living in right now in the in world.
true. But some
But
things do matter no matter what. So
yeah,
like
yeah, the
some
helix
information
shell,
does matter no
yeah,
matter
yeah,
what.
the mana golem or the mana servant thingy. There's still a lot that Mercer can teach. That's true. But when it comes to fates, to specific characters, I would be careful about that. What have the
Right.
others to say about
Yeah.
it?
Thank you, Edoron. Sidehammer says, pertaining to narrative, I feel the Mother of Grave info will be the most important. But in universe, I agree. The healing spell and the null inspiration will probably be most far-reaching. All right, thank you, Sidehammer. Let's go to Yash. You wanted to give your answer.
Yeah, I think some the most affected is probably gonna be apart from the healing stuff. It'll probably Syria because she like we saw how Syria first she was completely detached from morality and now she's
Hmm.
completely detached from emotion. So I suppose the most anybody can take out of this is probably Syria, because the implication is that the circlet slowly starts taking over Syria and slowly starts possessing her. So it's like a now or never situation, you know.
But also now there is, I mean, it's completely different. I don't think that the Syria from Mirsha's world ever met Floss and had the artifact broken and all the other stuff that happens.
Yeah, but
I
we
don't think
also see
all of
that
that
the
happened
circuit is
to.
mending, right? We see that slowly it's being mended. So um yeah, like I'm just a little bit concerned about Syria. Other than the Horns of Hammerad, I think she's gonna get a big shock when she sees like how many people are already dead here.
Oh yeah, she's
And
talking about more and doesn't even know more is dead in this world. Oh my godness.
yeah.
Mm.
If
Another
she
in
starts
moment.
telling all these things, I think a lot of people are gonna be really upset.
Oh, this is gonna be brutal.
Yeah.
And she talked
So
about how Hellrock must be in River Farm right now and talking about him and maybe go to River Farm and God pirate. Why?
yeah, so I again, like it's not a because it's not a one-to-one future. There's probably gonna be like a lot of things that she thinks are helpful but are not really helpful. But
Hmm.
some things will remain unchanged, like in the different timelines. Yeah, like even in the different timelines, some things are probably gonna remain unchanged, and we just have to categorize what are the things that are changing and what are the things that have not changed.
Maybe we're also gonna get a watch Captain Grasstongue.
Ah! I somehow doubt that. I somehow doubt that.
Watch Captain Grasstongue. Oh my god.
All
Uh,
right. Thank you, Yash. Um, Nahayel, I hope I'm saying your name right, says, yes, I'm also looking towards this. Her existence was first teased in the earliest volumes. I'm quite hyped, to be honest, and that was in reference to Sidehammer's comment about the Mother of Graves. Nahayel also says about this discussion, there's definitely some part of this House of Fates that isn't just about alternate timelines or future, but as in fates with more connection with the mythological idea of fate, or even changing your actions. It's hard to avoid it. That's a good point. There are some things that are going to be very difficult to avoid no matter what they do. And I think that ties into Nanette's hat situation. But I do definitely agree with you, um, Ederon, that Nanette's going to get through it because of the support she has. But I do think it's unavoidable that it'll be very difficult once she decides to put that hat
mhm.
back on. Rattling Willow says, at the same time as it inspired the novels in general, it also inspired Furker and Grimalkin. Grimalkin gets to see a continuation of his own combat magic and be validated that it has a future after his death. Yeah, that's very important for Grimalkin, and
A
we saw that this
Grumeltum meet. What was it? A Grumeltum greeting. It's a
yeah.
fireball in your face.
Yes,
Oh god, I love pirates humor.
that's
It's
great.
small stuff like this. It's awesome.
Hmm. All right,
Grum-
Mr. Yip, you want to speak next?
Yeah, I think the main theme of Tinsha's warnings is that they're basically all going to be worthless. I don't see I think that there's 0% chance already that either Saria or uh, uh,
Nanette?
what's her name, Nanette's paths are even remotely close.
Yeah, I agree.
Would ever happen
I
to what
agree.
Teen Show would say. I think that's already been completely avoided, and I think it's going to be the same for all her most dire warnings. And then suddenly she's going to say, "Oh, what about Mother of Graves, though?" and like something like that that's going to be really like actually important and big, but still going to turn out kind of wrong. Like, I mean, one of her, like, presumably one of her big warnings is going to be like to go, oh, you have to tell Rags how not to turn into the Easter Bunny, but then that's already been dealt with student Rags, so it doesn't really matter either, and all of that's going to be the same thing.
I
So I
totally
think if
agree.
Well, so
uh,
okay. What do you think? Do you think her warning to Valley is not applicable? Because I think that's very applicable still. I don't see any reason why Visible would have changed their mind in this timeline that okay, actually we'll give Valley the Jin. I can't remember his name.
I think that's possible, like that's going to be a big thing, but at the same time, Valley is also in a completely different place than she would have been. She has the inn. She has the presumably she didn't even get the like she wouldn't have even done the comet thing if like the comet delivery if like in Tinsha's timeline. And there would have been like
No
lots of
school.
like there are huge differences already in like how Valley acts like. I think that it's possible that the clockmaker still would have died, and that would have been
Oh,
like
so okay.
that would have been pretty
I
bad.
don't
But
mean like the exact circumstances. I do mean like
The general
Festival's
circumstance.
Festival's like denial of her getting buying the Jin like ever. Like I feel like that won't change, and that's very key. Like so, Mersha's note that the clockmaker will be used against her is then invaluable to have.
yeah, it is true. Like that they're like that her like assumption that she could force them into giving him over to her, like that's definitely still true, but there's also a bunch of other like that's to put it like I feel like that's the most minor kind of her of like the warnings, like that. I mean, it goes from now maybe Valley has a chance to force their hand in some way or whatever, but it's like compared to all the other like major warnings that Tinsha is giving out, that's not really like as big of a thing as the others. I think like that wouldn't have played out the same way anyway, and yeah, it's helpful definitely. I think that what she's going to give out advice that's helpful. I just think that all of her biggest warnings, with the possible exception for Mother of
Mother of
Graves,
Graves
which
should be
I
seen
still
with a
think
grain
is
of
going to play
salt.
out differently than
Mm-hmm.
what it did in Teach's world, because of a lot of things, not least of which is the Titan and the moon halfling and everything causing a bunch of chaos and the gods and
Mm-hmm.
all of that. Like it's going to play out differently than it did in Teach's world anyway. But like that's probably the biggest information she could give. But I think it's going to be a running theme of this, that all of her biggest warnings and her biggest priorities are all going to be bullshit, and her like more minor things are going to end up being much more helpful.
It's nice to see somebody with the name Mr. have.
Huh?
Uh,
Huh?
no,
Good
it's
opinions.
okay. Yes.
Yeah.
All right, Edoran. I see. I see. You betrayed me. I see. I see. All right. All right. Thank you, Mr. Europe. Those are some good points, and I'm sure you and Edoran will be great co-hosts together.
Excellent points.
All right, Jotham, you wanted to speak next.
You know, I just want to like clarify this with people. Valestra is not a good politician. and she is not a good strategist. And Mersha warning to her, I think it's more important than Mr. Europe thinks. Like, I just want to say, when you know what kind of fight you're walking in and what kind of weapon they're going to attack at you, like, now know, like, regarding the Jinn issue, these people will be targeted and there may be a war, right? So, with Mersha's warning, they can start building a political pressure on the walled city. And knowing, I forgot the name of this walled magic city. What was the name of the walled city?
Visible.
Festival.
We have Festival. Like, guys, we've seen their track record. Like, these guys gonna be incredible decks. Like, they attacked at meeting of tribes. I think we're literally building up a war with this city. Like, I imagine like next 2-3 volumes, like this plot point can lead to a major war with the walled city. Like, knowing Drakes, they're never gonna want to give up that genie, even with the political pressure. Even if you put them in the corner, they're gonna try to do something stupid, and I think it will lead to a big fight. Like that
Yeah.
warning, I think so important. Like, people can start preparing for it. They can start building up political pressure. They can start like just checking their attack target, who's their army, and like you can literally strategize for the war. Like, right now, the Relistra are not gonna just walk in there expecting them to give her the gin. Like, she know what what their strategies will be, and like she can prepare according to that. And second point is, like, with Mercius, and if she can like start the Blighted Kingdom light topple, like if she can just even give the spells away, teach people about that, I think it will lead to a very major like consequences in the near future. And I just love this timeline. Like, it is a very good what if Aaron is like Aaron was not alive. It's so different. Like, I loved it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Also the spells though. Like, in 10 years, there can be a lot of rediscovery, lot of changes in the spells. And Marsha learned at a Vistram. So she really has like a good base for how to teach people, right? But I think, yeah, like that's my point. And the Mother of Grace would, like, we extensively talked about it, so I don't want to like elaborate on that. And that's all for me. Like, with her small
Mm-hmm.
warning, she can start like the chain reaction. It's just with
Yeah,
like,
that's a good point. That's a good point. If you know how Festival is react, you can go at it another way than just ask for the gin and whatever whether Teresa would have
no,
done.
like,
That's a good point.
also, like, we gotta understand the Drake culture. Do you guys think they're
They
gonna
suck. No,
yeah,
Drakes suck anyway.
yeah, they're not gonna give it up unless there's like a good reason something is forcing them. So I think this may lead to war. This is like just a prelude for us to like for them to
Hmm.
get ready for it. I think
And
that is a good warning.
one thing that nobody has mentioned yet, that future Mersha can give our Mersha finally a voice. Not just a
Ah,
stupid little speaking stone that
true.
she's, but a real way to communicate. My God, why
That's
haven't I thought
true.
about it until now? That's huge. Imagine our little Mersha can now finally start speaking.
No,
Oh
no,
boy.
no. Imagine if future Marsha and little Marsha go off on adventures together.
Oh,
Oh,
no, that would be too much for me. Instantly heart attack. Instantly. I couldn't handle that. That would be too much, too good.
dude, also like that is an old superhero thing. Like, superheroes movies sometimes have that trope. Like, it's your own future self coming in to inspire you. It
True.
felt like that for
True.
the nose. Because Marsha literally set up that like the big incident meeting of tribes, and now she's literally inspiring them.
All right. Thank you so much, Jonathan. Let's move on to Bleach Soul.
So
Give us your thoughts.
Yeah. I think the most important thing also is the spells and also like a look to the future about what might happen, even though it's a different kind of universe and stuff. So teaching, like, I mean, everybody has said it, like teaching healing spells and stuff. But I wish like Adult Masha would teach the goblins some spells, so they can at least defend themselves against Second Army. And I'm not sure how much she knows about Mother of Graves and stuff, but I mean everybody like said that. But I really hope, like, I know she won't expose the king, blighted king, but I really hope she just put a fork in his wheel so she trip him, as to say. Yeah, but I mean everybody has said whatever. I mean what I wanted to say. So mostly improvements in spells, and hopefully she helps the goblins to trance the Second Army.
Mm-hmm. But
Yes.
wouldn't it, if she really puts a fork into the um, plans
The
from the
Blighted King.
Blighted Kingdom, wouldn't that be a bit? I mean, we talked about that she tried a bit to be like Ryoka and be careful. I mean, that flew out of the window immediately because she really is like Ryoka. But uh, starting a fight with the Blighted Kingdom would be suicide at this point, I think. Shouldn't she be a bit more careful with that information? Because, I
I
mean,
mean,
the whole world is supporting the Blighted Kingdom.
yeah, and that's the point. I mean, destroying the illusion that the Blighted Kingdom is like this wholesome thing who helps the world to fight demons, instead of actually figuring out who they really are. It will affect the support that the Blighted Kingdom has, which will
Mm-hmm.
be diminished by a lot. And I think it should be like a plot point, either her or Naravia, that expose that douchebag king. Uh, to see who to show to the world who he really is. I think, yeah, of course, if Adult Masha does that, of course she will be in danger because they will send assassins and all kind of crap. But hey, I mean the damage would have been done, and there is no going back, and the
I think the
Blighted
best
Kingdom
way,
will be forever weakened.
I think the best way for going about it is just teaching that spell to everybody. Not even mentioning Blighted Kingdom, just teaching spells that spell to people.
Well, yeah, that's also a good idea.
It will literally not tip off anybody. People will just know spells.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, I know how to manipulate people. Be careful.
Yeah. So that's my answer.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you a lot. Next up, Red Ink Quill. You wanted to speak?
So the most important thing that she could do that could change the fate of this in world is show people that the Blighted Kingdom can lie with this spell, right? As Bleach Soul said, you know, or Jotham said, you need to teach the spell, teach the counter spell to the spell, and then suddenly the Bloody King can't lie all the time, and
Mm-hmm.
maybe the fate will be changed, right? Because the only reason the whole world is on his side is because he's able to lie with impunity and basically pull people that are against him into that skill to shut them up, and that pain skill to shut them up and like make a pact with them and make them quiet, that like he tried to do to Nervia. So if he could just no longer easily lie to the whole world, then that would change the future. Another thing is that all of these futures are kind of like fates, and we know fate's a real thing because the our Mersha has gotten a fate breaker class. Like she's got a lucky child. She's gotten I forget what the exact thing is, but I know she has fate resistance. So any of the futures that might come to the future, Mersha can actually break them and make them different.
Mhm.
Because she has fate resistance and she's like Ryoka, where she can change the future. She's kind of like our Mersha's kind of actually like Ryoka, because Ryoka is like causes randomness and chaos in the timeline and the fate. And now Mersha's very similar. And as we've seen from the Palace of Fates that she's unleashed, she's totally changing everything. So now we have two vectors of chaos, and that may be too much for the in world to handle. Yeah.
We'll see. And there's also Aaron, also as a future chaos bringer.
There's a lot of chaos that can come from this. A lot.
Mhm.
All right. Thank you, Redding Quill. Last up, we have Nahayel. You want to speak?
Did they? I thought.
Just hold on. They're joining.
Oh, it's all right.
Asteria, how you doing? Oh, we are recording. Sorry.
Nahiel, you can go. They're patient. They'll occupy themselves by picking out the next discussion question.
Yes, I shall pick it out. This is a good one. All right. Edoron. Has your opinion changed at all since hearing everyone speak? Do you think it's still not useful?
Yeah, a lot of good points have been brought up. That's true. So yeah, my opinion has changed a little bit, but I still think that individual fates are to be wary of, especially when it comes to Nanette. That is something I just can't ever take like really serious in the in world right now. Net is in a such good way right now, and Net is so awesome in our line that I
Also, like Mafia, that is like a biggest point of Eren being alive. Like
yeah, and that
we always gotta remember Eren is not alive in that world. And look at the butterfly effect. Like I think it may be like one of the showcase of butterfly effect. But I'm just gonna laugh out loud if Nadit from that universe walks into this one.
Aaron is dead and the whole world turns to shit. Syria's gone insane. Ralk is a watch captain, so Liskor is doomed. Yeah, just no.
Wait a second. Wait a second. Wait a second. How dare you? How dare you say such a mean things about
No,
Ralph?
Red would be a watch captain. Yeah. Come on! Imagine our world as the watch captain right now. It would be chaos. It would be insanity.
Yeah. All right. So Nahayel, have you figured out your mic kit? If not, we'll move on to the next question. If you want to share.
Yes, I
Oh, nice.
Nice.
Hey, there we go.
while you were talking. Sorry. Yes. Thank you for letting me speak. Though I'm a new member. I think that shall we say, I don't want to speculate too much how Marsha will interact with the world to a greater extent, but I think we are at a point where some characters kind of maybe need some development, like this thing with the future Marsha will maybe interact with the Leonette and all the other characters in a way that also with real Marsha in a way and allow them to make some changes in their lives that perhaps we are waiting for. Characters even like Relk, for example, that we like. Relk had a very complete character arc in the past in Celidel, or I don't remember the name of the city, for example. And now he's with Vale Teresa and so forth, but we don't know really too much about him. And so since a lot of the characters right now are in other places, like in Baleros and whatever, I think this is more an opportunity for the story to let the characters interact with each other. Um, since all the main characters are like away. And so I think it's an interesting point for having all of these character development more than maybe all the other things that you already said that are definitely going to happen about how she will interact with the world. And yes,
It's an
I
interesting
think it's
point.
a yeah, and and
I
also
mean,
regarding to the discussion before, sorry, I don't want to interrupt you. Go on.
no, just I just wanted to say that we have seen a lot of character development already from like Mersha in the last like 10 chapters. Her character development is like huge, and
Exactly,
even
exactly. But it will kind of continue with this. It's
Mhm.
all part of this arc. Yes.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
maybe now we can use this to have some motivation for the other characters. That's a good point.
yeah. Thank you
Yeah,
for
and
sharing.
also, um, yeah.
Keep
Thank
going.
you.
Go ahead.
You
No,
wanted
Um,
no.
to? Oh, all right.
I'm a
all
bit
right.
shy. It's the first time I have a
Yeah,
conversation
yeah.
of on
No, it's
Discord
okay.
with the
It's okay.
strangers. So I don't want to.
Nice to
It's
have
all.
new people here. Always nice.
Yeah. It's great seeing new people, and you should always feel welcome to ping and talk when you want to.
Mhm.
We try and make sure everyone can have their voice heard if they want to. And if you don't feel like talking, you can always type in chat. We'll just read it out. But thank you very much.
But can I also add another thing? Um,
Yes.
Yeah, sure.
like I'm regarding to the whole discussion that was happening before, and I completely agree with the kind of two different things that were said. Like I don't remember who was saying that a lot of it has changed into these other timelines. So it's definitely not the warnings that I can provide. They are not necessarily immediately translatable to this happens, so do this. And so I
Use
completely agree that there is a lot of difference. But also, like, I think that these
you, sir, have good
uh,
opinions.
no, but I mean, I agree in a lot of the sense. But one of the things I like about this story, okay, this is kind of what I wanted to say. One of the things I like about the Wandering Inn is from the beginning, or maybe not the beginning, but all the things, for example, that Ryoka that interacts more with the fairies and with these kind of otherworldly beings, not
Mhm.
only in the sense of immortals, but also kind of um, more
The
fairy
mystic
tale
stuff. Yeah.
type, exactly, mystic storytelling, more kind of inspired by a lot of different types of folklore and stuff. Not that she's the only one, but I mean, Ryoka
Mhm.
is the one that experiences the most. And so there is this kind of undercurrent of, fates and stuff and this type of storytelling. But so far, not a lot of the other characters have really interacted with this. Maybe a bit Erin, but not too much. And so I think this kind of Palace of Fates um, is an opportunity to kind of mix also these characters with this kind of vibe. And so this thing about all the different futures, it's, of
Yeah.
course, they are not possible, but kind of maybe there is some patterns that can be recurring. And I think it's a
Mhm.
really fresh take for these characters that have done a lot of things but different. So I think it's really cool, and because I was, and then I'm done because I'm talking too much, but no, but I mean because this. Okay, I lost the point.
All right, it's all
Sorry,
right.
what was I saying? Anyway, yeah. Um,
Interesting points. Interesting points.
I agree with you that the characters could definitely still use this information, even if it doesn't directly translate one to one. Thank you very much. Let's move on to the next question. Will Grimalkin and Lady Pride's relationship lead to further conflict among Drakes and the humans? Will they be used as an example of unity? So this chapter we definitely got Grimalkin kind of realizing that he can't give up on Pride. At
Mm-hmm.
least that's how I read it. Like he went to go talk to her right away. So I think that's a very good sign that they're going to keep getting together, and Grimalkin's going to be far more forward
Mm-hmm.
now because he realized that if he doesn't in the future, he's just going to end up by himself, all alone. And I think that terrified him a lot. So I don't think it'll lead to further conflict among drakes and humans as a species, like overall. I do think it'll lead a lot of conflict between Palace and the North. Like, we've already seen Adeline is kind of an idiot in how he orders those below him around. So Grimalkin doing this and kind of fraternizing with the North.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't think Adeline is going to look kindly on that. So I think it'll lead to conflict between Grimalkin and Palace more than Drakes and humans.
I can certainly just hope so, because Gromalkin is like one of uh like five the group, one of a few drakes that I don't hate completely. And if he's able to really, like, maybe he can even change something in Palace so drakes don't, like, the value of them sucking is like minus 0.005 of them sucking. If he can even manage that much, I would be impressed to fix that species. And maybe something will come out of it. I just hope that it has more implications than just for himself and Lady Pride. But this is like turning into a bigger thing.
Yeah. Um,
All
I don't
right.
have any. I don't think I have any responses to that. So let's go to Jotham. You wanted to speak.
Dude, one thought immediately came to my mind. This will definitely lead to more mating ritual chapters.
Nice. I mean, no.
Of course, of course.
Who wants those? I don't.
We definitely need to explore the human and Drake anatomy interacting with each other. That
all
is
of I'm just saying right now, all of this question, even the question about Aaron and Olvama, would have been answered if mating rituals would have gotten the votes. We have we would have got all the answers that we wanted. But nope.
great.
Nope. People
All right.
didn't want to have it. And now you have it.
Your buddy got it. We're gonna campaign on that.
That's all I have to say about it.
This is a very innocent topic to talk in mating ritual chapter. Like once you bring in Aaron into that chapter, it creates a big drama. But this one is pretty interesting. Also, like, it will definitely further the Grimalkin storyline with his relationship with Palace, their leadership.
Mm-hmm.
It will definitely increase more divide. I'll be very interesting on like how Palace react right now, because in under Chaldean their reaction was very good. It was calculated. They were trying to go
Yeah,
do everything with the best, but right now they're like I'm just what do you call?
I
I
mean,
have grabbed the popcorns and I'm just gonna watch the drama that happens from it.
right now Palace is being stirred by greedy idiots and not I mean Shellian was kind of an asshole, but he had his standards at least.
No, he was a smart guy.
Yeah, but he was also an asshole. Don't
Yeah.
don't but he had standards. And like getting second army to attack the goblins just for some bullshit political stuff. It's just and now they are not gonna be reacting really good to Gramalkin and Lady Pride. I think there's gonna be stuff. There's gonna be repercussions from that from Palace, and maybe it's the breaking point for Gramalkin to. It was said in this chapter again that he is tired of Palace commands and tired of Palace um, giving him like stuff to do, and maybe this is gonna be the breaking point for him to say, you know what, fuck you guys, I'm out of here.
We can only hope. We can only hope. I would love it if Grimalkin left Palace for good. I would love it.
Yep.
It'd be the best. And I
So
hope that's what happens with a Valley storyline, which is great, Bleachsoul. All right, let's move on to Yash
yes,
Ketchum.
Ketchum.
Oh my god, my mic was on time.
Oh boy, Yash was talking for the last 10 minutes. Oh boy.
No, I was hauling groceries up 9 floors. I don't know if you guys heard me struggle. Oh god. Anyways,
Don't you have 9 floors? What the? Okay, no, that's not a point. What? What are your thoughts about a question?
yeah, you know what? Like these kind of things. So like a couple of chapters ago, I was like really crying and stuff, and my boyfriend was like, "Why do you read such stuff? Like, why? Why? It's like you're obsessed with pain." I'm like, "No, no. There's a payoff. Like, no, just you wait. Like, there is a payoff. It's like sometimes I feel like TWI is this whole it has this whole kink going on where it's like it'll put you through pain, and then at the end it's like ecstasy. So
Yeah, I can see what you mean.
yeah, and I feel like these are the small moments of ecstasy, the pops of ecstasy that you get, where something that's been building for so long, like we've had so much build up to this moment where Grimalkin and Pride finally take some steps. Like both of them are so stubborn and they're just like
Mm-hmm.
muscle heads with very few brain cells.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean, he has brain cells. That's the point. Grommelkin is very intelligent, but
is
just
he?
yes, he is. He's an archmage level mage. He is smart.
He is smart in the way orange cats are smart, okay?
No, he's a book smart, but he's no social butterfly.
Yeah. So finally seeing him get some sense and doing stuff, personally it's very rewarding. Like I this is why I love this story. In terms of the context of the story, I think there's going to be a lot of pushback. He is a public figure, and
Mm-hmm.
such a public figure dating a human, and not just any human, dating like one of the roses, like you know
It's
Uh,
huge.
it's huge. It's huge. And like uh, I feel like it might sort of cause factions in Palas. Not just this, but there'll be other things. Uh, Given that Edine is such a big moron, there's probably gonna be like factions, maybe like traditionalist side and a more exploratory side, where the traditionalists are probably going to stick together, and we'll see a lot of political interference, uh, or political warfare. But I also feel like something like this might actually make Chaldean snap out of it. Like even Chaldean has been waiting for this to happen, and this payoff might actually get some sort of reaction from Chaldean.
You think he could snap him out of it?
If not snap him out of it, at least when somebody is in a vegetative state and then you suddenly see a toe twitch. I think this is the toe twitch moment. I think I went very dark.
Yo,
But
Yash, Yash, you just gave me like a idea of the topic regarding Grimalkin. So Grimalkin going after a forbidden rose. Damn,
oh yeah, yeah. It's like a
that'll
beauty
be
and the
good light
beast
and
thing where both of them are the beast and both of them are the beauty. Oh, it's just so romantic. Thank
yeah, perfect line to put in mating ritual chapter. There we go,
Oh
Yash.
god.
High five.
Oh my.
oh God. Yeah. I want a lot of politics after this, because having nothing happen, it's not like the story. It's not like RTWI where people just shrug this off. No, some people are gonna have a lot of things to say about it. And I'm looking at you, Sir Rels and Noas. Like you will say something about this. And
Which
even
story are we dissing right now?
hmm?
Which story you just dissed? RTWI?
No, I didn't diss it.
Oh no.
Oh my goodness, I'll never diss TWI.
Oh, RTWI. I thought you were talking about different story there for a sec. Okay,
No.
good. No.
But yeah, like with this happening with the goblins, everything is building up, right? Like there are people are beginning to take sides, and we might see. And oftentimes pirate uses fantasy narratives to sort of ease in real world problems and give very nuanced perspectives of real world problems. I think this could be one of those things where people will have a lot of things to say about it, but a certain bit of nuance can be introduced, and we can take inspiration from our own world.
All right. Thank
Right.
you, Yash. Lots of good thoughts. Lots of good thoughts. I'm gonna read out some comments now. Gridcube says Grimalkin was already one of the few Pelatians truly affected by Sir Norman's fire. He is already at conflict with the current palace management. Absolutely true. And I think um, this chapter is only pushing him further away. Honestly, Sidehammer says one of the things I've come to realize reading the story is that no matter how telegraphed something seems to be, pirate will swerve, twist, or writhe their way into something compelling. Even at my most dubious, they always manage to surprise me. That's true. It's really true. They're a slippery eel of a writer. Kumchan says, yes, catch him casually dropping the Wandering Inn's final floor count. And Naha Yell says, I agree. It often manages to establish an expectation and break it with the right balance of realistically expectable and surprisingly unexpected. Not with a feeling of, see, I just wanted to shock you. Did you see it coming? And they also said, if it is not overshadowed by Sal Sessionavia announcing being a turn scale, lol, But yes, I agree with Yash Ketchum that Grimalkin is a public person, and Palace might be very divided about it, like we saw in the beginning with Romeo and Juliet, but with the added strength of Jurassi's television. And yeah, it's gonna be wild to see. Any thoughts on these comments, Edron?
Nope, not from me.
All right, let's move to Mr. Europe. You wanted to speak?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, I predict that Grimalkin actually has stopped going after Pride, and it's a fake out because he thinks she's ugly now. So he's going after Selkis, actually. No, that's a joke.
My
So,
goodness.
no, for real. I think that the whole Drake's like the walled cities being trash and having their leadership completely compromised at every level by idiots who are just running around not knowing what they're doing has been a growing and growing theme for several volumes now. I feel like they've basically undermined the leadership of every single walled city, except possibly Salazar, where old Mr. Dementia is back in charge. Like, that's the most well-run city at this point. It's I think Pirate is very obviously building up to something with not just with the army, but with in the high passes, but also with a lot of other things with the pride arc and the whatchamacalls, like just various different things. Like Manus has put all their eggs in the basket of Raphaema, who's off chasing an old man to have sex with him. Otestia's halfway run by like a criminal organization at war with the coffee makers. Like the
What
whatchamacallit,
cities are going down? You're alright.
yeah, I mean
One by one.
port city is literally run by like two idiots and a guy who's good at logistics. That's all that's keeping that city up. And Festival is just a bunch of jackasses. Like it's it's been building up for several
Hmm.
volumes, and I feel like this is just one more step, like, or another rock on the scales, and it's just going to be interesting when it all comes tumbling down.
Mr. Europe, they're literally building up to Viva la Revolution, my guy.
Well, unfortunately, the pirate killed their only revolutionary, but yeah, still salty about that. But okay. Uh,
Mr. Wiggles, tear down this wall.
No, I refuse. The wall stays forever and ever, or something like that. Nahayel says, yeah, and the transients from Airbathi. I expect the usual confluence of a million armies, LOL. There's going to be a lot of armies coming. Yay. Yay. Alright, Bleachsoul, you wanted to speak.
I think him and the relationship between Grimalkin and Pride will be the final straw that will make Grimalkin move out of Palace. I don't. I think he's like he has like already a foot outside. He needs just a little push, and when Palace gonna, maybe start talking shit about him dating a human or something, he will say, "Screw you guys, I'm getting out of here." So I think it will affect him staying in Palace or not, if they want to react in a way that he find it unacceptable or racist or whatever, specious. So yeah, I think his relationship will be pivotal for him to get out of Palace.
Yep, I agree. It's time.
It is. It really, really is. It's It's been time for a long time too. Nahayel agrees in chat as well. I think everyone agrees that it's time for him to get out of Palace. It really is. Alright, Edron, can you pick out the last question? We'll...
I don't have one right now, but maybe I have a quick one. Just for the end. Where is it? Here. Just for the last 5 minutes or so.
I see which question you're highlighting. No items, box only, final destination, future Mersha versus the strongest. Or, I'm just gonna say the strongest wins. It's not even a competition. The strongest
You
is just
sure?
going to win. I'm sure. I'm sure about this. The strongest simply is the strongest.
I mean, which level did you reach?
The Mersha level 31.
No, I mean from Pummel, the strongest.
Oh, 50 plus. I forget exactly what level.
Oh, that
50
high?
is like. Yeah,
Yeah,
he's like 50.
Alright,
Oh,
okay,
he's
no,
53.
oops.
Please still
Yeah.
says he's 53. Okay.
yeah.
Nope, okay, nope, that wouldn't be a fight. Nope, that
You were
wouldn't be a fight.
Yeah, you were not kidding about this one being a quick question. There we go. We solved it.
I think
Alright,
you.
nope.
I think that was your opinion, right, Jotham? That's what you wanted to say.
That wouldn't be a fight. It's true.
Yeah. Look, there you go. Bleach fell from the top, and he just literally smacked him.
Yeah.
Nice one.
Maybe Mercer versus Aaron. Future Mercer versus Aaron. So
I still think Aaron wins, but
yeah, probably.
Sidehammer says strongest stomps, and Grid Cube says Origin pulverizes Mersha, and Sidehammer also says Aaron stomps. yeah. I think.
You know what,
that's
Mr.
fair.
Wiggles? You choose the last question then.
No, that was the last question. This
All
is the
right.
last. We all have determined that the strongest would beat Mersha, even in the future. It's that sad.
It wouldn't be a fight, that's true.
But
My goodness,
it's okay.
how is he 10 years later when he mastered all 4 elements?
Well, we will never know until the Fire Nation attacks.
It's true. I mean, he's okay. That's. We can stop the recording.
All right. Yeah. This has been the after chapter discussion for 10.29M. Thanks everyone for joining. I'm stopping the recording now.